Hello and welcome to a game of Dota 2. You are watching StarSeries. We are here with game 4 of 6 today, and it is day 26 of 30 days of group stages. That means that we're almost done, and that also means that the games are having more and more value because some of these teams are desperately in need of some wins, including VirtusPro here. And first of all, let me introduce to you my co-caster, Baseskip. Welcome back.
Hey Shiver, good to be back. And yeah, on that note, I'm gonna ask. I'm very surprised looking at this VP lineup that they've ended up in the situation that they're in. So maybe you could talk about where they are and how exactly they got here, because admittedly I haven't been staying on top of StarSeries as much as I normally would.
Yeah, I mean, VirtusPro is a typical example, I think, from, a star-studded lineup. You put them all together. A lot of those have captained their own team, you have to put a lot of egos together, and I think, it's a difficult thing. Goblag, brilliant drafter, has now been under the captaining of Resolution since they're trying something new, and I mean, it just hasn't been fitting together. All these players, one by one, brilliant players. Resolution was mentioned when he was playing solo mid for IC Cup, like one of the up-and-coming stars in Dota, because he was playing an amazing mid, and he was captaining his team. And I mean, G, we all know that he's very strong. Goblag, mastermind drafter, NS, strong support. Light of Heaven, I mean, everybody knows him as well. This is definitely just something is not working, something is not clicking, and that's been it for VirtusPro since the start of the season. They haven't been getting their flow since then, and now they are in the position, as you say. I mean, they are in a position where they need to win this game, because if they don't, they are going to be in the bottom 4 of StarSeries. Guaranteed. And be that in the bottom 2 or in the bottom 4, and bottom 2 is, of course, bottom 2 gets dropped out regardless, and the 2 above that will still have to play regulation matches. It's not a position where you want to be in, especially not if you're not used to that kind of stuff, because every single one of these players has been doing so well before, getting out of TI3 and before getting here. It's something that they're maybe not used to, and it's a very tough position to be in. On the other side, you've got yourselves a team that has not been to the international, and that has shown that they should have been there, because they've been doing amazingly well up against every single team that we've seen them play against. They are sitting in the top 4 right now. They have only 2 losses, so same story as Alliance for them. They have got the margin of error. They can still lose 1 or 2 games. They aren't guaranteed for Kiev just yet. They still have to play 5 more games, including this one. So they're looking pretty strong, but they're looking pretty strong regardless. VirtusPro, though, they need to win this one. So yeah, how they get into this situation, I would put it down to just not used to playing together, just not having the right synergy or something.
Yeah, because I look at the lineup and I look at the record. So 13 games, 4 wins, 9 losses.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem to add up. So I guess we'll have a look at what VP are up to this game and see how they fare against Rattlesnake International, I guess former Kaipi. But yeah, I mean, Kaipi always known for being a little bit off the wall, and it might be difficult for VP here. I mean, I'd say that they're very adaptable players as well, but Troll Warlord and Clockwork are the first two pickups here from Rattlesnake. I mean, they do seem to have a bit of a knack for playing the Troll Warlord, and I think we had a stat just yesterday that was Sing Sing is the professional player with the most games on, or the most wins on Troll Warlord at the moment, or maybe just within Starladder. But yeah, interesting that Rattlesnake International are going to put so much pressure on that.
Yeah, picking them up first. I like the Clockwork pickup, and that's maybe understandable because Bone7 just plays an amazing Clockwork, and it might be something that VirtusPro wants to prevent from happening. But yeah, the Troll picked up so early. It's interesting. It might be leading into a Spirit Breaker, which I kind of hope, because I like the Troll Warlord Spirit Breaker combination. It just makes sure that even though he might be played as support, he's got a free Mask of Madness purely in the Berserker or Battle Trance rather. We've got ourselves Crystal Maiden Darkseer banned out for VirtusPro. Of course, Darkseer works well together with the Naga Siren. We had the Bet.io, yeah, there's your Spirit Breaker. Bet.io Visage OD banned out first. It's really, very standard. Bane and Chen banned out by VirtusPro. I think they were on the right path with that Chen. I mean, Enchantress still gets picked up because Rattlesnake does want to go for that early aggression, and AY 2000 has played an amazing Enchantress, Chen, and Visage lately, so they remove 2 of those, but still Enchantress makes it through, banning out the Bane instead for VirtusPro. Of course, a setup for them picking up the Lifestealer in the end. But the bashes still work for Lifestealer, and I think Rattlesnake, regardless of not having a Bane, I think they're still looking pretty well, because not only Spirit Breaker bashes, but of course also Troll Warlord bashes. So let's see what VirtusPro has in store for Rattlesnake. They have to have some sort of plan, because they're going to be having a hate train coming towards them once that Troll reaches level 6. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, and Rattlesnake.int, I mean, the lineup looks a little bit cobbled together, but it's actually very solid against what VP have. The Clockwork pickup deals with the Naga Siren exceedingly well. Spirit Breaker against Naga Siren, Weaver, and Lifestealer is going to be a great asset to have here. And yeah, VP, they need to be ready for the sort of all-in phase rush. Enchantress is going to be applying pressure from, 30 seconds into the game, and Rattlesnake.int, expect those early charges, expect that early aggressive pressure. And VP, they don't really have all that much counter push at the moment. Virgur's gonna end up being banned here as the last support, and I guess VP maybe look towards. They can't really look towards something like a Keeper of the Light for your traditional counter push, just because they're gonna get hookshot, they're gonna get charged, there's gonna be a Troll Warlord diving on them. So maybe something like a Twin-Headed Dragon is the choice here, but yeah, they need something to just keep Rattlesnake.int back.
Yeah, and now I was also thinking about the Jakiro, but then I thought, you know what, if Clockwork still hooks, the battery assault is so annoying because of that cast point that Jakiro has. You can't put down an ice bath if you're in the battery assault, because you're not going to be able to get your cast point thing off your animation, kinda. But we'll see what they end up going for. Wouldn't be surprised to maybe see an Enigma or something like that, perhaps, going for. But it's still, I mean, there's still so many things that can interrupt him, but I mean, they need some form of way to fight back. Gyrocopter is the last ban on VirtusPro. We still need a hard carry for Rattlesnake, knowing that Envy doesn't play any of these heroes. It's Sing Sing, Bone 7, AY 2000, and Pylai Dai's hero is sorted right now. Just Envy picking up his last hero. I'm expecting, of course, a carry. Normally he goes for the more harder carries, but I wouldn't be surprised if he goes for maybe a bit more early game carry here, even though Weaver and Lifestealer both already picked up. And he picks up a Storm Spirit. Now, he has done this before, and playing Storm Spirit on the safe lane, going for a fast Bloodstone. The first game of the season, that was actually a game between KP and CD, who was disqualified and replaced by Ubels in the end, but he went for a Storm Spirit with his Bloodstone. He didn't get it in time, and they actually lost the game. So we're gonna see if this time he is gonna be getting that in time, or if VirtusPro can slow him down enough. I like the Storm Spear pickup at least. I mean, if it does work, it will be very scary, because then you've got yourself a Clockwork that can hook himself in, you've got a Spirit Breaker that can charge himself in, and a Storm Spirit that can zip himself in, and they all get the benefit of the Battle Trance, and it's just pretty scary. And I was talking about a free Mask of Madness from the Battle Trance for the Spirit Breaker. Same, of course, goes for the Enchantress, who sometimes wants to have that as well if she turns into a bit more of a carry later on in the game.
Yeah, and I mean, you talked about all the ways that Rattlesnake have to jump into fights already, so I'm actually a little bit surprised that the Storm Spirit ends up being the last pickup here. I was thinking maybe something along the lines of just a BKB Rush Shadow Fiend. He's got a ton of damage just from his passive, you throw the Troll ultimate on top of that, and Shadow Fiend just becomes a killing machine, even without any damage items. So I guess Envy wants a little bit of extra initiation power here, and we'll see if that's going to end up being the problem. VP going to snag the Lion, so they're moving towards top lane right now, but I'm not sure if they actually want to go aggressive. If they have a bad time with this Lion to start things off, an underleveled Lion is just food. He's got 47 base damage, and desperately needs those levels. So VP, it looks like it might end up being a little bit of a gamble if they're going to be running an aggro tri-lane here.
Yeah, and especially, I mean, everybody always says Crystal Main is one of the squishiest supports in the game. Lion is actually slightly more squishier, so I've had that looked up. I don't really know why exactly anymore, but it is proven. So Lion, indeed, if he gets behind, it's gonna be free food for that Spirit Breaker every single time he sees him on the map. It's just that simple. Or Clockwork, or Storm Spirit. I mean, 3 ways to jump in to clear out that Lion. And let's see if they... I kind of think that they maybe should be running this aggressive, just to slow down the aggression of Rattlesnake, so perhaps they feel pressure to do that. And they do have Anna Weaver and a Lifestealer, so even if their trial line might not work out exactly, but even if they don't... as long as they don't lose it all that hard, they will still have someone farming on the bottom lane, the safe lane. We'll see what they end up going for. Let's see who's playing what. Of course, once again, you're watching StarSeries Season 7, Day 26, Game 4 of 6. And we're watching VirtusPro taking on Rattlesnake International. VirtusPro needs to win this game to not end in the bottom 4 of StarSeries. And bottom 4 is of course the bottom where you don't want to be, because that has you your spot in StarSeries on the wind. We are going to see Resolution taking on the puck. And S will play the Lion. Goblak will take on the Naga Siren. And of course we are going to see G once again in the hard farming role. He's going to be playing that Weaver, and that will leave only one Light of Heaven playing the Lifestealer for his team. The offlane player. And I think that does say maybe aggressive trial lane coming off from VirtusPro and just leave G by himself on that bottom lane.
Yeah, it does look like it at the moment. And over on Rattlesnake, we're going to have Pylai playing the Spirit Breaker. We've got Eternal Envy playing the Storm Spirit. AOI 2000 is going to be on the Enchantress. Sing Sing's going to be heading towards mid on his Troll Warlord. And Bone 7 making his way down towards bot as Clockwork. So we've got a couple of heroes here that have really been pulled up. Rattlesnake have actually chosen to pull up their mid pretty heavily. Sing Sing starting off with a Poor Man Shield here. And G actually making his way down towards bot with a ton of extra regen and a Wraith Band. So the supports are a little bit poor to start things off in the tri-lane versus tri-lane. But this should be a pretty big edge for the Troll Warlord on mid. And I've touched on this matchup previously, and I feel that it's very favorable for the Troll, you know, just out of the box. So a little bit of extra pool should go a long way for Sing Sing here.
Yeah, Pylai just using 2 sentries to clear out that one observer. It was the sentry that he placed was on the edge, very brilliantly placed by VP, but still 2 sentries. Make sure that Pylai will be able to stack and pool later on, and actually 1 extra sentry comes out, and perhaps NS can buy the time so that they can clear out those sentries again. They still have to deal with this one though. Here comes a charge, and actually no Vortex just yet. Who gets it first? Well, nicely done, Rattlesnake, I'd say. They will have themselves a camp being spawned.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird exchange there, but looks like Rattlesnake will end up getting the better of it. Just with the pause, I actually just jumped to have a look at how ping plays out for this game, but it's actually okay from what I can see. I guess AOI's up there a little bit, and as is Envy. So we'll see if that ends up having impact. And
apparently, wow, that's a pretty big. He just got himself.
That's a pretty big impale.
Yeah, two-man Earth Spike. Goblak still having his Riptide. Storm Spirit, all he can do is maybe land an Overload or Static Remnant and walk away. But, well, you know, he can't move. It's kind of a problem right now. I don't think he'll be First Blood. I think there's not enough damage coming off from that. What do you think?
Yeah, I would think that, that it probably won't end up being First Blood. At the very least, he ends up getting a little bit of space. Maybe Pylai. He's pretty tanky. He could just go for a body block and let the Storm Spirit run off, pop the salve, and he should be fine. And the stun's pretty much already over. There's no way for the Lifestealer to come across and help. So yeah, I would definitely say that this shouldn't be our First Blood unless something goes tragically wrong with you know, Envy somehow having a click queued up towards the enemy base or something like that.
Yeah, the reconnect comes back out, so we should be having our answer fairly soon. Let's see if well, you know the trouble here, right? Because he can't test if he can move unless the pause goes away, and if he can't move when the pause goes away, well then he can't move then anyways because he's stunned. But we'll see when they want to test this.
I wonder if he can share control while we're paused, because it seems like the menus work, so he might be able to say share control with Aoi. He's farming the jungle. He can just take control, send the first action to get Storm Spirit back to base, and then Envy can kind of work out if he's actually able to move around. I don't know. That would be my thought.
Mouse model. Greens, be right back. Razor. Well, AOI is back. Ines makes a joke about needing 10 minutes, but that's not going to happen. Death Ladder 2013. That's of course because KP has got quite a few issues with games that have been postponed or something like that because of server and Dota issues. Let's see if Storm Spirit, he's able to move. He takes a lot of harassment still, but won't go down as Pylai just stays in a little while longer to get some more harassment in. He has got no mana for a charge anymore. Of course, that was used just now. But he still has the block, so that's going to be good for Rattlesnake. They will be able to hold on to their lane and still get that extra experience in the jungle if they want to. They're still able to shut down Storm quite hard in terms of farm.
Bot lane man fight. G in trouble.
Oh, gee, can he actually squish himself away? It looks like it. Bone 7 with the battery assault, walking the wrong way. Oh, wow. In comes a net, AOI. He does rock the right way. This is your first blood right here. Boom, first blood taken by AOI. Gee, walking, well, walking the right way in the end, I guess. Well, the right way for his base, not the right way for the death, of course, obviously.
Yeah, so nice gank there from AUI to start things off, and again, Weaver's been pulled up to the teeth here. He's got a bunch of extra regen, but it doesn't end up mattering if he's going to die like that. Bone 7, unfortunately, I don't think he was in range for any of the experience, so it doesn't really get too much of an advantage 1v1 against the Weaver, but AUI can just load up again and be ready to have another shot at G and just keep that pressure on. Meanwhile, Sing Sing doing very well mid. As you can see, the Troll has a very favorable matchup here against the Puck, and again, he's got the poor man's shield. It's very, very easy for him to win this matchup, especially with Resolution. All of the pool has gone down towards bot, so he doesn't even have a null talisman here on mid. He has to sort of do it with his own gold.
Yeah, and he doesn't even have a bottle just yet. He hasn't got the gold for a bottle just yet either. 30 gold more, so one more last hit to get on the pure last hits. See if he can get that. Of course, his damage is slightly lower than that of the Troll. We'll see if he's managing to get that. In the meantime, yeah, AY is continuing to aggressive jungle, the Radiant jungle, which is just, I mean, it's just very scary for G because he can come out of the jungle any moment to try and help Bone 7, who's been able to get some levels here. Doesn't really get that much farm up against G, but he's getting more than the normal Suicide Lane Clockwork would get. That's for sure. So overall, Rattlesnake, they're getting ahead in their bottom lane in terms of how much they should be doing. They're getting ahead on the mid lane. Of course, just Sing Sing Outlast hitting Resolution. And their top lane, even though it's not very favorable, they're not dying. And that's, of course, a good thing on its own. And that's enough for VirtusPro to say, you know what, we're not going to go aggressive anymore. We have an S rotate. He has a smoke in his inventory as well. He just goes bottom lane together with his Naga Siren, who went bottom as well. And that's enough for AY to say, I'm going to go back to my own jungle. So, looks like all's well in the word once again.
Yeah, and mission accomplished 100% here for AUI. I mean, you look at the Storm Spirit, and typically when you see a Storm Spirit mid, you think, okay, you can gank him before 6. He's a very easy hero to bring down. And VP are no slackers when it came to disables in this aggressive tri-lane, but just having the Enchantress bot was enough for the Naga Siren to rotate down. And S wasn't feeling comfortable to just sit up there by himself. So, yeah. AUI makes a lot of space for Envy to get up his level 6 on top, and this means that Bone 7 will have to sit back and be a little bit more defensive, but preventing the Storm...
Went back mid, doesn't do anything there, continues towards top, but he doesn't have boots, so he doesn't get anything out of this rotation. So it's quite interesting to see that he is indeed not just not getting anything, and we already talked about a Lion getting behind. He is going to be free food, and it looks like Rattlesnake is actually trying to push their top lane out right now.
Yeah, and Rattlesnake applying pressure, and they're just dragging VP all around the map. The Enchantress dragged the support's bot, now the push from the Enchantress is pulling everybody up towards the top lane, and VP missing out on a lot of experience and a little bit of farm along the way. Their core heroes are still farming quite well, but they have to be a little bit worried about the fate of their supports in all of this. Yeah,
because they're just not getting anything done right now. No levels, not that much farm. Gobelak tries to make up for that by farming some in the jungle, but he's still also level 2. Doesn't have boots, doesn't have enough mana for boots, and of course, or money for boots rather. One of the things that is going to be important with a lineup like this, if you're facing up against something like a Spirit Breaker, you kind of need to have some wards up to make sure you know when he's going to charge in and where he's going to charge in, so that person can either go home or, be safer than he is. And supports need to have gold for those wards. And that's just not possible. There's one ward still up, but it's about to disappear. And Naga Siren, he does have gold for wards if she wants to, but probably wants to have boots first. And same story goes for NS, who hasn't got enough for boots just yet, but probably wants to save for that as well. So that's going to be an important factor in this game. Vision, because the gankability of Rattlesnake is just very scary.
Yeah, and as soon as Bone 7 gets this level 6 up, which he isn't too far away from, they can look to start moving around the map really easily. Resolution is a long, long way away from having his Blink Dagger, and they do kind of desperately need it, but he's going to get hook shot, there's going to be charges flying around, and when you have an Enchantress, you don't want to sit back and wait for too much farm. I think Rattlesnake The obvious call is just to keep applying pressure. And the nice thing about this kind of lineup, especially with the Enchantress pickup, is that we had a couple of games here today where the biggest problem was there were pickoffs, but it didn't translate into anything. And well, looks like Sing Sing might be in some trouble mid.
Yeah, Dream Coil and Snare, they want to take him down, and Ness comes in as well to just share some of the experience. Resolution with the last hit. 4 heroes rotating to just take down that one troll, but I think a very good takedown regardless. Will allow Pilot Eye to take some experience here in the mid lane as it comes in. But good snipe, good pick off, good gank all over. And VirtusPro, they have to try and get this kind of aggression on, but it might be tricky. Wow, Pilot Eye just charging up there, using all his mana. Maybe creating him some more safety for himself to get the experience going here. I mean, he's level 4 now right now, so that's not that bad. Once he gets level 6, he can really start doing some work.
Yeah, the support Spirit Breaker just really needs a couple of levels to get going. Doesn't really mind about farm. He's very naturally tanky. 6 armor and 834 HP at level 4 is just absurd. I mean, highest EHP in the game at level 1. So he's going to be charging towards these squishy supports. Pretty much no problem. NS is still level 3. Light of Heaven is still just hanging out on the top lane. And G is still G is getting good farm on bot, but the Weaver is still going to take a little while to come into his element. And as I was saying, they've got this Enchantress up on Rattlesnake. They're not interested in dragging this out too long. And again, we had a couple of games today where the problem was they couldn't turn pickoffs into towers. It should be very straightforward here for Rattlesnake, especially with the Troll ult and having this Enchantress picked up.
Yeah, do you think they're gonna wait for that Spirit Breaker rather, to get level 6 before they're starting to make their move? To just even create more space for Storm Spirit, of course. He is level 7 right now, Eternal Envy, but he is not really getting that much extra farm here on this top lane, but I don't even think they need that. They've got the Clockwork at level 6, they've got the Berserker's Trance, Battle Trance. Wow, why do I call it Berserker's Rage? So stupid. Keep it confused with the first spell. But, maybe they want to wait for the Spirit Breaker to be level 6. We have got another gank up on Sing Sing, by the way. The smoke up was there, the ensnare, the Dream Call looks like it's repeating from last game. Look, can he get it though? In comes Bone 7 and it might be enough. They will be able to get an S with one more hit. There we go. That's Enchantress picking that one up. Light of Heaven stuck inside Cogs. Will go down as well. Looking for Godlike. Zipped upon by Envy. Envy, whoa, takes a little damage. Zips himself right back. G coming in. Casually picking up Enchantress. Going for the next target. Walking towards the enemy towers. It's questionable play, but he's able to time-lapse himself out of it. Might be still wanting to try and go for the Storm, but ends up backing off. In the end, it's G that saves the day here for VirtusPro. Could have ended way worse, but it ends up being a trade. A trade still favorable for Rattlesnake, because they got an extra kill out of that, and of course also they got themselves the Lifestealer. But they did lose an Enchantress for it.
Yeah, they lost the Enchantress, but really nice play there. Well aware of the fact that the supports were off the map, and it was likely making it. The gank was likely making its way towards Sing Sing. Envy, nice little bit of play there. Right after the mischance went down on the Weaver, he just manned up. Weaver was under the tower. Nice cogs from Bone 7, and Envy was absolutely fine. So VP, things are looking all right. Lion is getting a couple more levels in the jungle, but VP just playing this very defensively, sort of retreating back onto their safe side of the map, and seems to be working out. Rattlesnake haven't really grouped up too much to go for this first big push, and looks like you said, they might have been waiting around for that level 6, which is now on the Spirit Breaker. So they've got 7 on the Clockwork, they've got 6 on the Spirit Breaker, they've got 7 on the Enchantress, and AOI, interestingly enough, actually sinking 2 points into the Untouchable here. So really relying on that for some survivability.
Yeah, there's a lot of physical damage coming off from VirtusPro, of course, that makes a difference there. It's kind of nice. We've seen it working yesterday as well. It's quite funny to watch, actually, if indeed they are able to, or they're thinking they can attack that Enchantress, but then they can. We have a smoke up, by the way, from AOI and from Pilot Eye. By the way, Untouchable on higher level, of course, also makes it possible for Rattlesnake to go for a fairly early Roshan. You just tank the Roshan with the Enchantress. They will find Godlike here. He's still level 3. Oh my god, you're so dead, Godlike. Gets netted, tries to do what he can, but gets picked up by the Enchantress. Nice Riptide still hitting on everybody, and perhaps it's gonna open things up for VirtusPro, as they do have G around here who's level 10. In comes the Swarm, Dream Coil as well. That's gonna be Envy, or AY trying to TP himself out. Won't be able to do so, goes down. Hookshot away from Bone 7, turns on his haste rune, or has a haste rune. Will be able to get himself out. Resolution won't be able to catch out anybody anymore. Pilot died, teleporting him out. No vision up on the high ground. In the meantime, on the top lane, and Ness is getting some levels. TPs himself away towards the tower, realizing that he's not going to get away from that place. Still not level 6 though. Still no Finger of Death.
Just looking to soak a little bit more experience on top, and Rattlesnake, their lineup looks like it should be able to... Well,
Ooh, nice Impale coming out from an S. Yeah, they want to really go for him, but in comes Goblak. Enough to level 3 Goblak scares away here, people. That's where we're at right now. But that's just because there's no mana left on Envy or Pilot Eye, and it's not just Goblak. Light of Heaven was there too. Light of Heaven was level 8. But yeah, still level 3 Naga Siren. How important is this song if you want to have it like to stop the death ball from Rattlesnake, right? Real important. You really need to have that. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Naga Siren getting awarded the lane just to get himself up to level 6.
Yeah, they really, really need it. And it's just... I mean, the problem is that they are obviously facing up against Spiritbreaker and Clockwork and Storm Spirit Initiation to deal with the Naga, so even if she gets the song, she may not be able to use it necessarily in the way that she wants, but still an important tool to have in the arsenal at the very least. And yeah, VP, the supports are really hurting right now for levels. Rattlesnake are still sort of sitting back and just taking farm where they can grab it, and I'm interested to see when the first big attempt is going to be made. They still haven't managed to take this tier 1 top, so VP, they've kind of been trading support levels and supports getting farm for more time, just by reacting to every single move that Rattlesnake had been making. And for the time being, it seems to be working out. They're getting pretty good farm on their core heroes, and G is already getting a long way towards having that first big core item up. Yeah,
he's highest on net worth right now. They are a kill behind, so this is just purely the farming ability of G coming into play, with no towers being picked up just yet either on either of the teams. And just him being, oh, good position. Hookshot misses, Pilot Eye doesn't stop his charge though, gets silence up still and backs himself off, realizing that his team wasn't there to back him off. Back him up rather. We have got Rattlesnake, I mean they... Oh, Naga is farming the jungle. I was saying, Goblak, what are you doing? But, yeah, Rattlesnake, I'm expecting them to be the one to make the bigger plays here, to at least, you know, get the plays going, get the kills going, get the charges going. The zips, the hook shots, you name it, should all be there. They haven't really been as aggressive as I thought they would be ever since Pilot Eye got level 6. But perhaps that's also because VirtusPro has been kind of careful in their positioning, which of course they can't really show themselves on the map all too much, and if they do, they have to be showing themselves on a very safe location like NS is doing right now between tier 1 and tier 2. Not an easy place to pick up a lion. Light of Heaven, also just farming Ancients. We do have more people coming in from Rattlesnake though. They are taking down the first tower of the game. The push on the top lane came from, of course, AOI and Envy as well. Nobody coming in to defend, which is, of course, why Sing Sing was there standing around. And, you know, they couldn't find anybody, so they just backed off. As we have got Pilot Eye allowing himself to maybe go for the Nye here. In comes a Swarm, and that's gonna be no tower to Nye. It's gonna be G picking up the tower, and actually he's going for Pilot Eye right now. Not gonna go for that, though. I mean, TP's coming in, TP's getting cancelled, but it's enough for Pilot Eye to get away. Still, tower for tower in the end.
Yeah, there are sentries up on Pilot Eye, so I think G very wisely is being careful there. There's a chance that he just gets chain stunned to death by the Spirit Breaker. Charge bash, Nether Strike bash, and you know, maybe if he rolls a bash somewhere along the way, then TP support definitely arrives and he's probably gone. So and G, there's a pretty big investment on him this game, and I might be in
comes a charge. Here. But in comes the Ness with, oh my god, Pilot Eye, he just burned to death right there with the Finger of Death coming out from an S. Impale stopping the charge. G lives and wants to see another day, and I mean, that was just pretty good. Naga Siren ends up getting picked off in the mid lane by Sing Sing by himself. As said, Naga needs to level, so got herself a nice mid lane to get herself some nice juicy experience and gold. But in comes a double damage troll, and he just rained on her parade because he's level 11. Goodbye. Naga Siren level 5. Not real competition there.
Yeah, and Sing Sing is just controlling mid lane very well. I mean, he's died the once from that gank, but otherwise, he's really fighting off anybody who tries to establish a foothold on mid lane. Resolution does now have his blink dagger up, and nice hookshot on bot.
Yeah, they try to go for again. Time lapse will still be there though, but the Nether Strike's still there. Sentry Ward gets put, and he gets stuck in cogs. You're dead. Bone 7 with the plays, with the kill as well. Now has been involved in 4 out of the 6 kills, sitting on 1600 gold, 202. Is his score? What do you expect him to
Sing
go
Sing
first?
round 2 mid.
Oh, look, Goblak, he still really just wants to have his level 6. He just gets it denied. Denied. Well, goes back. No. And that's now around here. It's not going to be safe anymore for Sing Sing, even though the Finger of Death on cooldown, I mean, that's a downside of a Lion. His Finger of Death is amazingly strong. It's such a long cooldown. I mean, you're going to have to wait over 2 minutes to get yourself your Finger of Death back. There's AY pushing on bottom, and Pilot waiting for someone to TP in, perhaps to try and make it go on, but not going to happen for now. And it's a Blade Mill that gets completed first on Bone 7. No armlet just yet.
Yeah, I'm a little bit interested about the Blade Mail. It doesn't help you that much against the Lifestealer. It's pretty helpful against the Weaver. But he's doesn't have all that much HP to make use of it. Sing Sing in some trouble mid, gets silenced, coiled. They're throwing everything at him here.
Nice charge
from Pilot.
TP in, Pilot just walking past. Nice counter gank, or at least stopping the gank from going. The tower still got destroyed by Sing Sing, so no deny coming off of VirtusPro. By the way, for people wondering, I would say that, like, at the moment, of course, the drop that happened, I think that was me getting kicked off from one server of Twitch and getting re-engaged on another, since this time there was no lag on my Skype, nor on my game, or that was what happened earlier today. But this is all on Twitch, unfortunately. If you don't have any, like, resolution that you want to have, you have to send a report to Twitch, click the wrench, make sure they know that something's going on, make sure they know that you're unhappy about the quality, because at the moment it's on them. Unfortunately for us, because I can't do anything about it. But maybe slightly fortunately for me, that at least my internet's not working, or not acting up like earlier today. Oh, hook shot! Gets himself Godlike! Bone 7 does it again, still no song, still no Godlike level 6, in comes an Impale. Bone 7 still takes a lot of damage, in comes a Finger of Death by Bone 7. You're dead. 1 for 1 in the end. That's just very
big initiation, but Rattlesnake are still kind of split pushing, so not everybody was ready for that fight, and seems like not the best trade. I mean, the Naga Siren is still having a terrible time, but again, level 6. We'll see how much it does. And EE in some trouble top.
Oh yeah, getting ganked upon, blinked upon actually with an Infest out and a Dream Coil. Resolution, losing all his mana for that, but that's a worthy kill. In the meantime, Spirit Breaker goes down by the Weaver in the mid lane. As, well, G able to pick up that kill by himself. Has a Linken's now as well. 7 for 7 in the kill score, as now VirtusPro has taken themselves 2 high priority kills in a row. I say high priority for Bone 7, not for Pilot Die. And maybe he can get AY here. He tries to TP him out after popping the Nature's Intent. That should be enough. He comes in a snare, it's too late. Nice TP out, and TP out also from Sing Sing, realizing he might be in trouble.
That Untouchable is just hilarious maxed out. G couldn't do a thing. I guess the biggest thing about this Untouchable, it's both powerful and it's also to do with expectations. Like, you don't think the Enchantress is going to have 4 points in Untouchable at level 9. So you think, oh yeah, I can go and attack that Enchantress, and it's just not at all the case. So AUI, it's an interesting build, but it seems to be paying dividends this game. We finally got the Orchid up for Envy despite dying up on top lane, so we'll see if this is going to be the trigger for Rattlesnake to maybe push a little bit more. They have managed to take all the tier 1 towers while things have been going on. It hasn't really been a concentrated 5-man push from them, but they have still whittled away at them.
Yeah, Link is being popped here, still trying to take him down. They have got the centralward placed. They've got Dust on Pilot but not able to take the kill. And actually, I might have Envy might be in some trouble. He's able to pick up the Lion, but in comes Resolution, in comes G. They want to try and take him down. Light of Heaven coming in from the side, zips away, still no more mana left. Silence there up as well, and that's going to be a hook shot in for Bone 7, but too late. Bone 7 pops the cogs. Is there going to be more help for him? I don't think so. He's going to get bursted down as well. Another kill. We go on the way of VirtusPro. 2 heroes picked up just for 1 Lion kill for Envy in return. In the meantime, though, as you said, split pushing going on still for Rattlesnake. 3 heroes on the bottom lane, looking to push in. Godlike does have the song, allowing for people to TP in. In comes the infested Resolution with the Dream Coil at the ready. Also Lion M wanting to get himself in. Pilot tries to TP himself out, won't be able to do so. Another Impale comes up, Sing Sing, hexed up and snared and taken down as well. Double kill for Light of Heaven. And the last one out is AY 2000, who was able to TP himself into safety, but all across the map, 4 heroes dead on the side of Rattlesnake, and only 1 Lion still to show for it, who didn't even have to use his ulti this fight.
And VP just seemed to be getting a really great read on what Rattlesnake are up to here. That was a really aggressive push down bot. I mean, they can check the Naga Siren's level, they can see that she is she isn't. Well, she was up to level 6, and EE a long way out here.
Oh, yep, he gets
A lot of
impaled,
trouble.
and even though he got the Orchid off in time for an S, or not in time actually, because the Earth Spike was already out. That's you on the wrong side, in the wrong place at the wrong time, and there's wards up for VirtusPro. They just mean to say that their jungle is indeed theirs, and that one ward of Rattlesnake does not change that fact, and I think by now that Rattlesnake will know that as well. I mean, that's a lot of heroes picked up in such a short period of time for VirtusPro, that the gold graph goes back towards that 0 line, experience graph even goes over that 0 line in favor of VirtusPro, and they're starting to gain control of this game.
Yeah, and they've really found their stride now, and Rattlesnake, their lineup was really based on the idea of, okay, pick off tower. We've got a Spirit Breaker and a Clockwork and a Storm Spirit who can, you know, win us every single initiation, no matter what. But Nagasiren's now got the song up, so it's not so guaranteed. And yeah, VP walking straight towards the late game. They've got a duo core lineup. They've got great late game, and you know, Hex up on the puck later on. Resolution still having a big impact. So Rattlesnake needs to be worried. AOI Enchantress can become a bit of a right clicker in the late game, and he's doing quite well in terms of farm right now, but I mean, Envy still needs a BKB. That's quite a bit of farm to go. Sing Sing's doing quite well. He's got his Manta style up, but yeah, VP just seem to have Rattlesnake's number at the moment. They're doing pretty well in terms of vision, and these last couple of pickoffs in the last few minutes have not boded well for the Rattlesnake side.
Yeah, I fully agree, and they're actually smoking up. They're going for Pylon, jumping in with an Infested Lifestealer. The smoked hero's not even needed. They'll take him down before he is able to TP himself out. Ownage being cold. All last skills went the way of VirtusPro, and I mean, they've got themselves a Lifestealer and a Weaver, and both are doing just really well. We've almost got ourselves the Desolator up on G. We've already got the Armlet up on the Lifestealer, sitting on 1600 gold, and at the same time, the only one that's keeping up with their farm is actually Sing Sing, who has picked himself up a Manta style, which is interesting because normally Troll Warlords, their normal item progression would be BKB, Helm of the Dominator, and then they can get themselves going, but going for a Manta style, indicating more of a push here for Rattlesnake perhaps, and can't get enough, like, done with the amount of pickups that they get. They can't get enough pickups. They haven't got enough control for this game. They can't gank up on VirtusPro at this moment either, because the moment they start charging VirtusPro, they will be aware of that, and they're actually grouping up quite a bit now, going for a tier 2 tower here on the top lane, seeing how far they can get, and I wouldn't be surprised if they are also able to secure themselves a Roshan after this, which is of course going to be allowing them to maybe even be more aggressive than they already are. Pylon though, sitting ready with the smoke, waiting for a charge in, waiting for someone to go on. But he doesn't. Oh, wow. Hookshot cancelled, or at least interrupted by the creep. That's going to be Bone 7, caught out and snared. In comes a charge up on Godlike, who's of course the one with the song. Can't do it just yet, though. Gets himself some harassment. In comes the song. Storm Spirit already dead before the song comes. Weaver allowing to pick him up. Pylon will be the next target. VirtusPro, this fight is theirs. Impale. Pylon dies. The rest of Rattlesnake have to just run home for cover. It looks like they're able to Delta split that successfully, but they will give up their tier 2 tower. And again, a fight won by VirtusPro.
Yeah, and I mean, Rattlesnake went all in on the Naga Siren, and Good Black survived, popped the song, got the reset on the fight. Rattlesnake, of course, they did a little bit of a misplay there, didn't manage to connect the hookshot to start everything off, so not maybe going as they were hoping, but yeah, VP have a ton of momentum behind them now, and yeah, the Rattlesnake lineup, you can see what it's built to do, but unfortunately VP have really been stopping them from doing it, and this Naga Siren proving to be more of a nuisance than Go Black's sort of early performance would indicate, because all he needed was this level 6. It doesn't matter that he has, well, before this point he had basically no items, and he was really struggling along for levels, because all they needed was the song for the counter initiation, and it seems to have been enough to really deal with the Rattlesnake lineup. And now Envy's not getting all that much farm going on. He's doing his best to flash farm through the jungle, but still really needs that BKB. And VP, big items up on Light of Heaven. He's got his armlet, he's got another 3k gold. And Rattlesnake, are they out of smokes? Do they have more options? They've still got a couple of smokes left, so maybe a chance to go for some pickoffs here, but things not looking great.
Yeah, Sneak and a Roshan, they do have a lineup that can take that down fairly fast, with of course the battle trends helping out. Would be a solution. AY, oh. Resolution finds him, silence him up, Dream Coils him as well. Maybe he can get himself a deny to the neutral. Nope. Ownage being caught, Light of Heaven coming into play and getting himself a last hit there on the hero. I mean, this is just VirtusPro extending their domination now onto the ancients of their opponents. And perhaps also therefore with the Roche Pit going their way, of course. But we'll see. They go for tier 2 first. They only have one tier 2 left to take down after this one, which is the mid one. Still standing in full glory. Infested Lifestealer sitting in Resolution, looking to go for something. There's no Scythe of Ice up just yet for Resolution, but if this fight goes their way, he will have it.
And Rattlesnake, they're in this situation, and I think everybody's been here, where you don't think that you can win the 5-on-5 team fight, so you don't defend, but at the same time you're not really going anywhere either. So it's a lose-lose for them right now. They are getting a little bit of split push going on, so Envy at the very least doing that, but they just gave away their last outer tower. There's a Desolator up on Weaver, and let's see if they can actually get anything here.
Oh yeah, they look for Bone 7. They go up on AOI instead though, and the Rage doesn't care about that untouchable. Definitely touchable AOI. He will end up going down, picked up by that one hit from G. The one kill that they get here on this engagement. I mean, everybody of VirtusPro came back after that cancelled TP because of the phase shift, and maybe with AOI out of the picture, will they feel confident enough to go high ground here? Perhaps.
I think they're going to try, and yeah.
No fortification.
Envy's walking back. There was a ping from. It looked like there was a ping from Pylai Dai, regarding the top lane pushing in, but Envy's just kind of gone back to the jungle, wants to keep an eye on what's happening mid. They'll have AUI back up soon, but yeah, it looks like VP just want to force this.
Yeah, they're gonna
There's
get
no fortification either.
Looks like performing under pressure for VirtusPro is working out just fine for them. The game that they had to win in StarSeries, up against one of the more tougher opponents, is looking pretty up for them. They have got now an over 7,500 gold lead, about 9k experience lead, and I'd say they look pretty confident here.
Yeah, it's Envy just like his movements around the map in the last 5 minutes were very strange. He had some pressure going top. But played it super safe. He walked over to the small camp, farmed that up, and then he walked back over to the secret shop, and then just TP'd out. So it looks like he might have been in two minds a little bit about whether or not he wanted to apply pressure or come back to be ready to fight with this team. But yeah, Rattlesnake, they need to find something. They're gonna head into the Roshan pit. They of course do have this maxed out untouchable on AUI, so this is pretty straightforward. Little bit of an advantage going back their way, and Sing Sing's quite farmed, has himself an Eagle Song, so dealing good damage and be huge roll in. But let's see if this Aegis is going to be enough to buy Rattlesnake the time that they need, or just maybe get that fight that they need. They really need to get this Naga Siren down right at the very start, but it's becoming more difficult. Goblik's almost got himself a mech.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good for VirtusPro with an Aegis, perhaps a Storm. Envy hasn't really been in that many fights. I mean, he's been getting 2 kills. He's been dying a couple of times, but other than that, he's been split pushing mostly. He's got his Orchid, trying to make that work, but it's just not been enough. He can't really pick off anybody because VirtusPro is just sticking together quite a lot. I'm really curious to see what he goes for next with his gold sitting on 2,700, and now with his Aegis perhaps being delayed for his next item slightly. I really would like to see him picking up something like Scythe of Ice as well, considering VirtusPro already have theirs, and there's just not that much disable on Rattlesnake if they don't have their right initiation, because of course Bone 7 brings some disable there with the, well, of course delay from with the cogs there helping out, just battery assault helping out as well, just disrupting the teamfight of VirtusPro. They've got bashes, which are nice. They've got a vortex, which is nice. Oh, Resolution. X up on Bone 7. Bone 7 is not going to be an issue in the next fight. Or will he? Armlet toggling. Might be enough. No, he goes down still. In comes a long-range zip. But already the Finger of Death up on Envy. That's going to be... Oh, there we go. That's going to be already an Aegis probably burned. G taking a lot of damage there. Oh, wait, one more Axis. Getting slowed down. The Dust is still slowing him down, but getting chased by Sing Sing as well. Tries to get himself out. Dust will still run for a little while. In comes Envy again. TP out will not be enough. Triple kill for Sing Sing in the end, who was also able to, of course, pick up the Weaver there, or pick up the Lifestealer there, as well as the Lion. They do have, I mean, they do use the Aegis. They do have their Bone 7 die. They actually get the kill on the puck as well. But it was a pretty good fight for Rattlesnake in the end. Because with the buyback of puck, it definitely made it worth it. No buyback being used for Rattlesnake themselves. And only an Aegis, well, Bone 7 and Spirit Breaker, which... Spirit Breaker's not that big of an issue. Bone 7 is, well, inconvenience. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, and Envy's all of a sudden got 4K gold. We've got the butterfly finished on Sing Sing, so it looks like Rattlesnake have found their feet again. I think just in time. You know, they're out of. There's no more outer towers. They just got rid of that. Well, they don't have the Aegis advantage anymore. But if Envy wants it, he can buy the BKB. There's an argument to be made for maybe just going for a Hex. But if he does that, he's relying on his team getting perfect initiation every time and being able to jump in on top of the puck. Because if he gets jumped first and he's silenced without a BKB, then he's just fodder every single fight. So we'll see what EE ends up going for here.
Yeah, he's indeed pretty damn rich, that's for sure. Maybe buybacks, of course, going to be very important. I mean, the Aegis was used in the previous fight. I mean, StarSeries stayed alive for a very long time in that fight, though, because I think I said he died like 2 times before he actually died. It was a lot of burst damage being done by VirtusPro, but just not enough. Next time, maybe he's not that lucky, and you kind of need to have buyback at this point, because if the fight happens on your side of the map, you might just lose more than just a fight, because of course the Rex are already bare, the lane might be pushed out, and you just need to make sure that you have got a backup plan, so you've got yourself a buyback. G now with an MKB, already the butterfly countered. VirtusPro still looking to try and take this, or at least still looking to try and remaining to put on the pressure. They rotating top. We've got everybody of their line up top, as there's an infested lifestealer once again, a resolution who's actually not moving top anymore. He's moving mid. He needs to push out the lane again, because if they do win a fight, as said, they want to be able to move up high ground, and that mid lane is the one that you would go for, considering there's no tier 3 up.
Yeah, and VP aggressive moves. The last team fight was maybe not the best for them, not as organized as maybe they would have liked. They're still getting up good farm. They've got the MKB finished on the Lifestealer. They've got an MKB finished up on the Weaver, so evasion and mischance on Troll Warlord shouldn't be too much of a problem. And Rattlesnake looks like just baiting AUI here, but they're only threatening a tier 2, and VP are about to be threatening Rax. There's fortification up for Rattlesnake, but no tier 3. So I don't know if they can actually keep up this push on bot. They might be able to get the tower, but it looks like VP are just charging, ready to charge straight up.
Yeah. Why not? There is a fortification indeed, as you said, so there would be a delay for Envy to get in. He actually already TP'd back home. He's going for a Bloodstone in the end, where he has the Soul Booster. You see how much effect it has. He still has a buyback though. G has a buyback as well as AOI, but other than that on Rattlesnake, not that many buybacks. So if they ended up losing a fight here, they're gonna be in some trouble. In the meantime, tier 2 still done. Oh, Envy jumps himself in, and comes the song though, straight away. Resetting everything, VirtusPro is going to be able to assess the situation and just go in when they want to. They go for Envy first, that's already one down. He can, of course, buy back, does so instantly, and that still gets picked up. Sing Sing, going for Godlike next, tries to do what he can, but gets picked up as well. And this is going to be Rattlesnake taking the fight, forcing everybody back for VirtusPro. They got the Weaver in that as well, and that is going to be it for VirtusPro. They bursted down Envy so damn fast, but didn't think to look out for... which was able to just bash everybody and stun everybody and do the massive amount of damage that he can do. And of course with an Aghanims for AOI, it's a... Light of Heaven. Could you... Like, he was... Never mind.
He was... I think he was actually aboard one of the creeps.
Yeah, he has to have been.
So yeah.
Yeah, he dies. No surprise. That's 4
so,
dead then. For only a buyback for Source Spirit.
Yeah, and while Sing Sing played that really well, I think we have to give props to Bone 7 there. It was a beautiful cog, prevented VP from retreating, and the cog went down right as Storm Spirit bought back and rolled in, so VP just didn't have anywhere to go. And now Rattlesnake charging straight down mid. There is a buyback up on the Weaver. No buyback for Light of Heaven, however, so let's see how far Rattlesnake are going to pressure this one. Looks like that's going to end up being it.
Yeah, not that much further. We have it charged up, just for the creep wave. That's going to be Pilot hoping that he can farm some on the top lane. I mean, they still have to deal with the naked racks. And actually, you see VirtusPro, they are already wondering how long they can hold on in the base of Rattlesnake. They went for the range racks, rather than for the melee ones, which of course, range rack have lower armor, so they're easier and faster to take down. They didn't even get those. We do have VirtusPro once again, going up mid with Goblik and a Nest leading the charge. Not the 2 most tanky targets that you can think of, but they've got another song, they've got another Finger of Death. Who knows, maybe they want to try to go for it again as Resolution scouts out on top, that tries to go for someone, but Pilot already out. Meantime, Lifestealer going back mid has got an MKB of his own, so 2 MKBs up on VirtusPro. both wanting to try and take down that Troll. Troll sitting on 2k gold for himself. I mean, he has got a buyback for the next fight, and they need to have at least one of those heroes with buyback so that they can actually use him to use as basically VirtusPro's initiation target. If Sing Sing can stand there, can force out a fight for VirtusPro, can make sure that VirtusPro feel overconfident and go in, and then buyback comes in, and as we just saw, that makes a big difference there. VirtusPro, well, after that initial takedown, they can't really do that much anymore, apparently, as we just saw, especially not with those cogs from Bone 7 there. In comes an infested Lifestealer once again on Resolution, though. Let's see how far they get, once again.
I think VP are betting on the fact that this time around, they don't think anything has changed, but Storm Spirit doesn't have buyback, but the truth is, Rattlesnake have actually accumulated quite a bit more gold since the last attempt here, and yeah, this time around it's Sing Sing with the buyback available.
Oh, they go for G straight away. Can he time lapse? Yes, he can. In comes the axe up on Sing Sing still, though. As said, he has got a buyback. In comes a song as well. Sing Sing, already dead, buys back. Finger of Death up on Bone 7, who's still alive from this. Now wants to get rid of NS, gets to do so. In comes a hack up on Envy, actually, who's taking a lot of damage here. It might actually go down and will get picked up. Double kill for AY, though. He is still standing at the back, and those impetuses are no joke whatsoever. Sing Sing gets himself another pickup as he, of course, came back into the fight. Bone 7 buys back into the game as well, and we have got NS running for his life for staffing forward. He's getting himself out safe, but at least Lifestealer died, Weaver died, Naga died. I mean, the song didn't really do anything at all in that fight for VirtusPro, and Rattlesnake once again with that buyback, putting the one on the front lines that they think, you know, this one can take it. They can try to overextend to get this hero, and they might think, you know what, if he gets this hero, we are going to win the fight, and then they get him, and then they're in the wrong position. Sing Sing buys back, and in comes Rattlesnake, and they're just messing up the entire fight of VirtusPro again, and win a fight again. Keep their racks again.
Yeah, and I think VP were just betting on the fact that, oh, this time around Storm Spirit doesn't have buyback, so it's exactly the same formula as last time, but you know, this time we don't have to deal with the Storm Spirit buyback, so we'll be fine. Just turns out that this time around, yeah, it was Sing Sing's buyback instead, and now that's 2 unsuccessful team fights back to back, and that's a lot of gold in the pockets of the Rattlesnake side. Now we've got AY with a Shiva's finished, so if he was difficult to hit before with the Untouchable, it's even more difficult now, and Pylai Dai almost has a BKB or a Heaven's Halberd if he wants it, and VP continue to throw themselves down this mid lane, haven't really got all that much item progression going. So Rattlesnake, it seemed like it took them a very long time in this game to really find their stride, but they've managed to interrupt VP, and VP now just waiting around for Roshan.
Yep, he's gonna be up soon. By the way, previous fight, I did say that Envy died, but he actually was able to deny himself.
Yeah, managed to deny himself.
Make some people happy with some more items, of course. But yeah, Roshan gonna be an important factor, especially if you are looking to push up high ground. You need to have that slight edge, and apparently walking up 5 versus 5 is not working out for VirtusPro, so that edge is definitely something that they want to have. Bone 7 already setting up for a hook shot. The smoke is there though. And this is going to be allowing VirtusPro to find their initiation and find their stride. Perhaps they even want to try to make it to the racks and try and take him down. There's a fortification though. Coming in from the side, Resolution already going indeed for NV. He is going to get picked off. No buyback this time. His Bloodstone charge is down to 4. Will be dead for another 50 seconds. In comes the Impale. Enchantress, the one that's been doing so much damage, able to stay alive for now. Has got the Nature's Antenna still off that he can maybe do. Not sure though. Oh, that Untouchable is helping out so much, but the Impale comes out. He still goes down. Sing Sing getting a snare, tries to do what he can to Light of Heaven. He might be able to get pick up. No, he goes down. Triple kill for G. Light of Heaven staying alive. 3 dead on the side of Rattlesnake and VirtusPro. I actually think they could actually potentially go for mid, but they go for Roshan perhaps as well. Instead, as Pylai Dai forces some TPs out of there, as he is able to take down the tier 3 top. Split pushing still at its course. In comes Bone 7 as well. The charge up. Resolution. Dead. Go Black, next target. He's already used his song. He doesn't have any mana. Gets cogged, but doesn't hit inside the cogs, as in Bone 7 doesn't catch him. But perhaps they can lay down some harassment on these racks. In the meantime, of course, the racks in the mid lane. Fortified here for Rattlesnake. A buyback comes out from the puck, by the way, as Lion will still get taken down. NV respawns. G now able to take down the racks. In the meantime, the buyback for Resolution. Is it gonna work out? Pylai Dai getting silenced up, but apparently he's lucky with the bashes. Oh my god, those bashes. That's the luckiest guy in the world. This cow might be able to take down a puck here. Can he actually do it? In comes a Hex. That's gonna be a tough one. Well, that's gonna be it, perhaps. Yes, that's it. And he did not take a Rex in the end, of course. So in the end, VirtusPro get themselves ahead with that fight. just by being able to get the Storm Spirit out of position and then get some key heroes down. But at least Rattlesnake made of it what they could.
Yeah, Rattlesnake did a really good job turning around what was a really bad situation. I mean, they'd lost 3 heroes. Pylai had made the very difficult decision. So after he saw Envy getting bursted down, he started TPing in just outside the base, but he ended up canceling it to keep going for the split push.
Oh, go black.
Go black.
Yeah, picked off. In comes Light of Heaven. Hex up on Storm Spirit. In comes Hookshot as well, though. Bone 7 able to cog in at least one, but Envy still wants it going down. AY trying to keep himself up, will be able to do so as Puck still ends up getting dropped in the cogs from Bone 7. Gem on the floor, nobody cares. G still in this. The gem, they really need that to take care of. Oh, G, he can't take the gem. And yeah, there's your gem. Finally they can chase him. The charge is there. In comes an snare, though, stopping the charge. Nether Strike will still be there. G going for Pilot. In comes a song, the zip. Into the song. He will be able to zip further, though. I think he might be able to take down Goblak at least. Zip, forward. Zips a bit too far. Goes for G. The Lincoln's popped, of course, no Vortex there, and that's going to be Envy getting himself out of there in the meantime. Light of Heaven comes back, still wants to go for AOI. In comes a charge up on NS. NS will not die this day, though. Maybe he will from Sing Sing, who's not able to pick off Light of Heaven. G will get picked off still in the end. That's going to be Troll with the kill. And perhaps Rattlesnake can take more of this buyback, though. And time-lapse in from Weaver. This is going to be G allowing himself to pick up some new targets. Can he do that, though? Not on AY, at least. Not with that untouchable. He does get Sing Sing, which is probably the more high-prio target. And this is a Roshan. And going the way of VirtusPro. Perhaps, though. Perhaps there might be a jump in from this guy right here. And sneaking in the ages. He has got the vision with the overload.
Yeah.
Gets him some more vision.
Come on, Envy.
And he zips in. Is it going to be in time? He gets hexed. Weaver with the Aegis. Roshan for the Radiant. Sing Sing. Or sorry, Envy dies. Keep calling him Sing Sing. I don't know why. But that's going to be another kill for VirtusPro. And that might be just tier 3 tower top. Because the lane is pushing in.
Yeah, and NS stole Envy's bottle. Because he dropped it on the ground to try and make space for the Aegis. So went for the risky play there. Probably had to. Honestly, they've still got Sing Sing dead for a while. He does actually have buyback available, however, so a little bit interested with Envy being dead there.
Oh, he really needs that rage to take down that enchantment with an untouchable. Pops to Shiva's guard. It's going to be enough for him to get away. I think, no, one more hit from G will do the job. Inside the fountain, he dies. Light of Heaven, though, might get picked up indeed. Bone 7, hexed up, killed off. G with a double kill, looking for another target, finding Resolution. Resolution bashed and killed. G will be the next target, has not got a time lapse, will be back out of this base, and the Rax will live to see another day. 3 heroes picked up by Rattlesnake. Buyback in the end, indeed used by Sing Sing, was needed as well, otherwise he would have lost his Rax. Rattlesnake still in this, but VirtusPro looking very strong.
Yeah, this Weaver is the biggest problem for Rattlesnake at the moment. G, I mean, if we think back, 40 minutes ago to the start of the game, he got pulled up to start things off. It didn't look like it was really paying off that much, especially given that Rattlesnake ended up rotating the lanes anyway, and Clockwork ended up sort of in a 3v1 situation. But yeah, G is just spewing out damage here, and the duo core lineup is really in its element here. Unfortunately, Rattlesnake, I still feel like Envy. There's an argument to be made that, for the BKB somewhere along the line, he's getting hexed up a lot and just dying as a result. He's still dealing great damage in these fights.
Hello?
Out? Are you still here?
There, you are. Yeah, oh, in comes the silence up on G. The song comes in straight away from Goblak. Gonna allow VirtusPro to back off, now realizing what Rattlesnake is up to here, but they will be backing off. Knowing now that the song is on cooldown, perhaps they can make something happen here instead. As we're waiting for Baseskip to reconnect back into the game because he disconnected there for a second. We've got 2,900 gold up on Sing Sing, and he can actually buy out because, of course, his buyback is on cooldown right now. Nobody on the entire map has got buyback here. So that's going to be something to watch out for. People that die actually will stay dead, and of course Envy is not going to have any help for his Bloodstone because it's down to 3 charges. He's died 9 times this game. I mean, overall, he is the one to die most on the entire map. Only closely followed by Pylai who died 8 times. Are you back?
Hey, yeah, sorry, I don't know what happened there.
sort of stayed connected the whole time, but yeah, I dropped out of.
Yeah, I'm
Dropped out
gonna
of the game,
recall you
so.
though, because you sound slightly like a marksman. So 2 seconds there while I recall you. That's gonna be that. VirtusPro moving up towards the top lane. Infested lifesteal already there upon resolution. Yeah, I hear you.
Am I less robotic?
Yes, you are.
Nice.
Oh, smoke up for a
this is the
resolution.
fight.
This is the fight, perhaps indeed. There is a song again. Of course, Naga being level 16 kind of helps with that. Rattlesnake is gonna be coming in from the rear. Gonna be looking to save their racks. In comes Bone 7 maybe first. Now they realize it's going on. Infest out already there. Catching Light of Heaven first, bashing him down, but he still has a rage. In comes a song still, allowing for VirtusPro to reset their fight. Going for Envy probably first. In comes an Impale. Envy already dead. Finger of Death being used. Still Light of Heaven being picked on the sidelines. NS pops his Ghost Scepter. Will get picked up regardless though. G allowing himself to hit up on. And AY will get picked off there. Down goes the Naga Siren as well. Kills being exchanged left and right, but no racks being attempted just yet by VirtusPro. But the tier 4s are already dead because of the creep wave pushing in G. Just trying to go for the GG. Can't get it done. Forced out of the base. In comes the puck though. And that's going to be Pilot. G will still get picked off, but it's only an Aegis. Resolution trying to do what he can. Keeps the fight going. Make space for G to hit up on Bone 7. Bone 7 goes down. Triple kill for G. Looking for another target. Looking for Sing Sing. Sing Sing can't get it done. Ultra kill for G. Time lapse. And GG is called. Rattlesnake is wiped out. Rattlesnake lose their 3rd game in Starletter Star Series to VirtusPro, who had a must win this game to at least get themselves not in the bottom 4 of Star Series. They're not out of the wood yet, but they just took an immensely big win for themselves. And I would say that they can definitely be proud.
Yeah, great job by VirtusPro here. I think it's a shame that the early game didn't quite work out as Rattlesnake were maybe hoping. We saw them find their stride later on in the mid game and start to get things going, and definitely fought VP tooth and nail up until the very end. So yeah, it's just a shame that the early game didn't work out like they were hoping. I think that was just the biggest problem. They have such a clear strategy in the lineup, and it looks a little bit hodgepodge, but it would have been interesting to see it actually play out. But anyway, I'm rambling. It's way too early. I think that's gonna have to be it for me.
Okay, well, thank you for being here. We, of course, got 2 more games to go for Star Series, so stay tuned for those. We're going to be jumping ourselves into Aspera versus 4FC, but before we do that, Basecamp, do you have any shout-outs and plugins you want to do?
So I guess I'll do a quick shout-out to my team at MIFC, so thanks to those guys. If anybody wants to find out what I'm up to, then I've got all the normal social media nonsense. So Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, all under the name of Basecamp. I'd love to hear feedback on my co-casting, guys. So if you want to email me at basecampdota@gmail.com, that would be great. But that's pretty much it. And obviously, big thank you, Shiva, for having me on to cast this evening. I find myself a little bit more tired at 5:30 a.m. today than I was at 5:30 a.m. yesterday. So hopefully that wasn't too bad.
No, it was fine. Thank you for being here as well, of course. And like I said, we're going to jump ourselves to the next game. 4FC taking on Aspera. Let's see if 4FC can get themselves another win in today. So stick around. We'll be right back.